Alrighty, we are back for our third episode of the Cinephile Rehab podcast. I am Ryan.
Dr. Phil here.
Julia.
Say it with your chest. Come on now.
It's springtime in the Rockies, Julia. Come on.
Today, we're going to be going over a few things. The first thing on the docket is opinions are like assholes. And our topic is Mr. Jim Carrey. Jimothy. We're going to talk about his body of work and what our personal favorites are of his. Who wants to start?
Talking about the man, you know.
The myth.
The myth.
The
Dare
legend.
I say the legend.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We're going to put Julie on the spot.
Not again.
Nope.
You signed up for a podcast. You gotta
Yeah, pull your part. Come on now.
Okay.
Chop.
smokes. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Shut up. I had to get my paper ready. So for my first Jim Carrey movie, my favorite, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
Very good.
It's a very deep movie.
It is.
And I feel that it's pretty relevant to my life right now, too.
My aunt says that she loves watching that at least once a year. I don't know why, because it depresses the shit out of me.
It's me, too. 100% me, too. Second, Ace Ventura. I feel like that's a no-brainer.
Of course.
Yeah.
One of Jim Carrey's first movie, and actually might be his very first movie, is a movie called Once Bitten. Have you guys seen that movie?
And the werewolf movie.
No, the vampire movie.
The vampire movie, excuse me. Yeah.
It is hilarious. I feel like it is a very underrated movie. Dumb and Dumber for sure.
Oh yeah, a given.
Of course.
And here he goes on the soundboard, guys.
Already with the shenanigans.
Oh shit, where is it?
Come on now.
It's literally on top.
Jeez, look at the butt on that. Yeah. He must work out.
He does work out.
And so my fifth one is Man on the Moon, where he is portraying Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman.
Great one.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I love that movie. And then The Mask.
The Mask,
The Mask.
of course.
Yeah.
Solid choices.
And I didn't want to leave number 23 out, so I do have that as like an honorable mention as a.
You actually liked
Jared.
that piece of shit?
I liked him in a different type of role. Like it portrayed him as a different person.
It did. I think that was the movie he was hoping would give him more dramatic scripts. It just did not work out for the poor fella.
Nope. But I did like him not being just goofy, silly, in living color Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Is that your list?
Yep.
All right. So, my number one is The Truman Show. And I think that is one of the biggest Oscar snubs in history.
I agree.
In history.
It's a good movie.
If you go on YouTube, everybody, you can look up. He presents an award for the Oscars that night. And he kind of makes a little subtle jab at not being nominated for his role in The Truman Show. I think that's what really broke him into, like, he had acting chops for dramatic roles. Number two, Man on the Moon.
There you go.
Great movie. May have sent him over the edge a little bit.
I feel like it did.
What's the Netflix doc?
I forgot the name of it.
Is it Jim and Andy?
Yeah, something like that.
He kind of went all in. He went a
Right.
little too full of Daniel Day-Lewis on that. Let's see. Sorry about squeaking, everybody. Number 3 for me is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Number 4, Liar Liar.
I knew you were going to say Liar Liar, so I left it off my list because I know you love that. Because you love one. You like one specific part.
I'm kicking my ass,
And then, of course, the quintessential. I don't even think I have to say the name of it.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Just that one of the best comedies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Of all time.
Yeah.
And I guess an honorable mention is probably The Grinch. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
what he went through to film that movie, I mean, you know, you got to give him some respect.
They had to bring in what was it? An expert on techniques of torture from the CIA to teach him how to actually like deal with sitting in a chair for hours.
Yeah.
Really?
Getting all that makeup and
Doing all
prosthetics
that.
done. And,
Yes. That's what I mean.
I think he got like rashes from it and stuff too.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah,
Apparently,
he never even smoked before.
yeah. They told him to start smoking because that was going to help him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That concludes my list, Dr. Phil.
Well, I don't think I'm going to mention anything you guys haven't said already, except for one.
Ooh.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh my God! Why did I not think of that? Shit.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Shit.
It is funny. I like that movie
Damn
too.
it. Why did that slip my mind? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Didn't do your homework, Ryan.
But yeah,
You just wait. I'm going to throw this fucking microphone at you. It's just going to be me and Philip for the rest of the podcast. She's going to be concussed on the floor.
on the floor. Yeah. I mean, one of my earliest memories watching movies was from The Mask. You know,
Yeah.
like I had it on VHS, everything. You know,
Yeah.
I watched it multiple times a day sometimes. You know,
It's still a good movie, too.
yeah. I mean, it's a kids movie that adults can enjoy as well. So
You know what's even better than it?
what's that?
The sequel, Son of the Mask.
Like Jamie Kennedy. Like,
Was that who it was? Jamie Kennedy?
Yes. Fucking flushed his career down the toilet,
I
didn't
bet
he?
we could
I
get.
think he did that
We could probably
long
get
for that
Jamie
movie.
Kennedy on. He's not doing
Yeah,
anything. I'm
shout
sure.
out. Jamie Kennedy, hit us up. We're supposed to be having Amber Heard here soon.
Yeah, she had to reschedule. So
She was too busy shitting in a bed somewhere.
I literally told you that we were not going to be talking about shitting in beds in this episode, and there you go.
well, too late.
Well, I mean, it's her fault. She's the one that fucking took a big ass shit in the middle of a fucking bed.
Anyway, to get back on topic,
sorry,
nobody talked about the cable guy.
True. That is true.
That
That's
is
So
true.
why?
That's a good one.
Is it a good movie or a bad movie or
just-
a guilty pleasure?
It just flew under the radar, I think, compared to his other movies.
I think it's a pretty good movie.
It was early on in his career, so
It's a pretty good movie. And Matthew Broderick's not too bad in it. And Ben Stiller directed it.
right.
I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's just one I personally never really think about.
No.
Think of Jim Carrey.
He has a couple of good one-liners on there that I may or may not have put on your soundboard.
Let's see here.
Sorry for the silence. He's scoping, even though I was like, hey, get to know the soundboard first.
I'm kind of a perfectionist.
There's your soundbite.
But yeah, I know he's like been going through some shit the past like 6, 7, 8 years or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But he described the Truman Show as like feeling like his real life. You know what I mean? Like felt like he was a character in his own life as opposed to like a person. you
Yeah.
know? Like, and I mean, he really went through some real hard times there. You know, so
Yeah, didn't he-
shake up anybody? You know,
Didn't he lose his wife
yeah,
or something like that?
to an overdose, I think.
Yeah. And then he went kind of into a shell. Have you ever heard there's like this rumor where he was on the Letterman show, and it's where he had that like big spiel where he was just like
Right.
just speaking truth. And
Yeah.
the audience was laughing, but everybody's saying that nobody in the audience was laughing, and they added laugh tracks
Right.
Really?
to it
Yeah.
Wow.
because he was just hitting people with some real shit.
There's a clip of him where he went to like some kind of red carpet event or whatever, and just by himself, and one of the reporters there was interviewing him, and he's like, I'm only here just to see how pointless this all is. And like,
Which they are all
Yeah.
fucking pointless. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
Let's fucking be real.
yeah.
When Jim Carrey hit the scene from In Living Color, that's where he got his start, his big start.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that. Yeah, everybody knew that he was going to be one of the best acting comedians
And he
ever.
did stand up before that too, like impressions and shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. His Nicholson is his Nicholson and his Clint Eastwood
Oh, yeah.
are the fucking bomb.
Yeah. Jim Carrey's a legend. So
He truly is.
You know. Just
any millennial type is familiar with Jim Carrey and loves Jim Carrey. I'd feel confident saying that.
yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, he was an asshole at times, and we've said it many times, just personally, that there's no excuse for being an asshole.
Right.
But he's Jim Carrey, you know.
I mean, when you're a huge fucking superstar like he was,
Yeah.
I mean, there's gonna come a point where you're just like, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, I think he
Right.
was the second highest grossing actor in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like,
Could have been the first.
maybe.
Who do you think the first was?
Could have been Will Smith.
I'm blanking. Yeah, maybe someone like that. Yeah. But I'm blanking on the name, but I think I read he was the second.
Yeah, I think it might be Will Smith. Bitch. Sorry.
Oh God.
Sorry about that, everybody. Had to get that cough out. Any more Jim Carrey?
I don't have any more Jim Carrey. Do you have any more Jim Carrey?
No.
We just want to say we love you, Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
We love you.
And we would love to have you on our podcast.
Yeah,
us up.
I'm
Hit us
sure
up.
you'll listen to this. So.
The phone number is 8675309.
You're so dumb.
Oh, Mr. Popper's Penguins. We didn't mention that.
Oh, what a masterpiece. Bruce Almighty?
Oh, we did forget Bruce Almighty. Oh, we're dumb.
I actually kind of like Bruce
Yeah,
Almighty.
I do like Bruce Almighty.
That's a guilty pleasure. But we can't
yeah.
forget the masterpiece, Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty.
Well, that,
Steve Carell.
How did that not get nominated for Best Picture?
That's a great question, actually. So,
Anywho,
moving on.
moving on.
All right. Next segment. We're calling it Movies with Balls. And I don't mean testicles. I mean sports balls. This is just our favorite sports movies. Just shit that we like. You know,
Yep.
the usual song and dance. You guys know the drill now. My number one, I got Moneyball. Brad Pitt
Yep.
and Jonah Hill.
I feel like that's a movie where if you don't like baseball, that movie makes you respect baseball.
Exactly.
In
yeah.
a way.
Yeah. Gives you the behind the scenes and the, it's because the actual game of baseball kind of takes a backseat to the characters and the storyline and all that.
Am I going to get punched in the throat if I say that I have not watched that movie?
All right. So everybody, I'm sorry to let everybody know. We are telling Julia to leave the room. She is no longer a part of the podcast for the rest of the day.
But I will watch it. I've heard multiple people say that it's a great movie.
I'm going to go take one of those pull sticks to your kneecaps.
I'm not going to do that.
Number two, I got Rocky.
Ooh.
Okay.
Classic underdog story.
Which Rocky? The first one?
The first one.
Okay.
Although you could put two in there as well.
Yeah, two's up there. What
Three and after you kind of start to get a little, you know.
No, three had old Mr. T
That is true.
and Hulk Hogan.
I do like 3 and 4, but they're, you know what I'm saying. They're different from the first two.
Yeah.
Like it's like Rambo 1 versus Rambo 2, you know. It's
First Blood.
yeah, whatever. Number 3. got Any Given Sunday.
Ooh.
Okay.
The Locker Room Speech by Al Pacino.
That's a good
One
movie.
inch at a time.
It's the most inspiring shit. It'll have you fucking bench pressing 300 pounds at 3 a.m. You know?
Fuck yeah, dude. You'd run through a brick wall.
Yeah, dude. Number 4. This one might be a controversial pick because I don't think it was a very critically acclaimed film. However,
basketball.
it's not basketball. However, I do enjoy this movie, and I don't care who knows it. Gridiron Gang with
with
The Rock?
The Rock.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's actually one of his better performances, too.
I agree.
Yeah. That's
He-
probably actually his best performance, honestly.
I mean, yeah. I don't know what it is, but I like that movie. It's inspiring. It's
Probably that and what's the one with Sean William Scott
oh fuck,
and Christopher Walken's the villain.
I don't know.
Oh shit.
You mean rock movies?
Yeah,
The Rundown.
The Rundown. That's probably his.
I love that movie.
That's probably his other best.
That's a great movie.
I don't think I've seen that.
We
one.
watched that in culinary arts class,
Okay.
and it's all only because he was a cook. And you only get that in the first 10 minutes. Anywho, proceed.
Next one might also be a controversial pick.
Hit us with it.
Caddyshack.
Ooh,
Caddyshack is
that's a good
great.
one. That's a good one.
That's a classic.
Not one you think of when you hear sports movies,
No.
but it is a golf movie, which
Yeah.
is
It
a
is.
sport.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm liking it so far.
I also have a couple honorable mentions. The Wrestler, but
Yep.
Aronofsky,
Yep.
and The Waterboy. Just a couple of honorable
There
mentions
we
there.
go. There we go.
Everyone loves The Waterboy.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Bobby
Yeah.
Boucher.
Oh yeah.
Mom
Nice.
said, Mom said.
Yeah, mom said.
Take it away, somebody else.
That concludes it. Okay. Alrighty. So my number one, my favorite sports movie, Major League. Major League
And here it goes.
is one of those.
Charles Sheen.
For one, them getting Bob Euchre
I know.
to be the announcer
Yeah.
is one of the greatest casting decisions of all time.
You'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one. That baby is out of here.
And if people don't know, he's actually a broadcaster for the Milwaukee Brewers
Yep.
in real life. So,
I knew that.
number two, Philip said, Moneyball. I mean, we basically said why it's so great.
Right.
Number three, Slapshot,
It's a good pick.
hockey movie with Paul Newman.
We need that soundbite. I'm listening to the fucking song.
Yeah, listen to the fucking song. What does he say to the goalie? He's standing behind the goalie and he's like, "Hey, Halloran, your wife sucks pussy." Trying to throw him off his shit. Oh man. Number four is another Paul Newman, The Color of Money,
There we go.
the sequel to The Hustler.
Scorsese action.
Yeah, Scorsese. A lot of people don't know Scorsese directed that. And my number five.
Oh, he's been waiting all day for this.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball. I mean, Jason Bateman is what makes that fucking movie. I don't care what anybody says.
F&A, Cotton. F&A.
It is so fucking hilarious.
Pepper Brooks.
Pepper Brooks, baby. Next time you watch it, just focus on Jason Bateman solely. Just him solely, because the shit that comes out of his mouth is just hysterical. Hysterical.
I wonder if he improvised his lines. Or
If he
someone
did,
wrote
dude,
that.
he is a comedic genius if he did. Shout out to Jason Bateman. Hit us up on the podcast. So I guess my honorable mentions. The Natural with Robert Redford. Cranks that fucking home run and busts the lights in the stadium. I'm going to leave this one out because I got it on another list. Another honorable mention, Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
That's a good movie.
I think it's a great football movie.
It's one you gotta kind of have to mention. So
There's not a whole lot of like Any Given Sunday is probably one of those good. You know, I'm not. So I know a lot of people are gonna bitch at me about this. I don't like Remember the Titans. I don't. And I'm a Titans fan, a Tennessee Titans fan, and right now they're getting their fucking asses kicked. You know, if they made a movie about the Tennessee Titans, it would be called Forget About the Fucking Titans, because they fucking suck. Anyways, another honorable mention, Bull Durham,
Okay.
Kevin Costner. Tim Robbins action.
Yep. Susan Sarandon.
Susan Sarandon. Yep. And then to finish off the honorable mentions, I have...
Because there's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball. No crying.
A League of Their Own. It's a great movie.
Tom Hanks.
It's a great one.
It also has a very star-studded cast as well.
Yeah. It's
Gina
got
Davis, Lori Petty,
Madonna.
Rosie O'Donnell's in it.
Shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Rosie.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Rosie is in it.
Yeah.
Pretty star-studded cast.
Have y'all ever seen the movie where she plays a...
Why is that
A what?
relevant? Why is that relevant?
Can we say that again?
Oh, no.
Oops. I'm sorry, everybody. I know.
Fix it in post.
I know that word offends people.
No, you just mean she's a little slow, you know? She's a little off to the side, a little, you know.
I think she's a little fucking actually. I don't give a shit. Y'all grow some fucking skin. I'm gonna say it. God damn it. Bitch at me all you want. We were able to say that word fucking, 10, 20 years ago? What's changed?
God.
Everybody's using it too much lotion nowadays, softening their skin. Julia?
Take it away, Julie.
Sorry.
Why do I always have to follow stuff like that? Okay.
You should have known what you were signing up for.
So my first one, Ryan literally just talked about it, was A League of Their Own.
Boring.
It's not boring.
Fucking kill you. My second one, and yes, I put it on the list, is basketball.
Oh wow.
Boring.
This is going to be an insane podcast.
That's a go. I'm glad one of us picked that though.
Right.
I'm glad one
I
of us
put a
picked that.
soundbite of it on there.
Did you?
That's the one at the very bottom.
And if you're excited, feel these nipples.
My third pick, and I'm surprised you guys didn't mention it, is Hoosiers with Gene Hackman.
See, I was wanting to throw that on there. I don't know why I didn't.
Did neither one of us mention a basketball movie?
I've got some, for sure.
I don't think Ryan and I mentioned any basketball movies.
I'll throw Space Jam in there.
Space Jam. The second one, right? With LeBron.
God,
Yeah, with
dude.
LeBron.
I'm about to shove this fucking microphone up my ass.
Yeah, I wonder what that sounds like.
Oh, no, I don't want to know
That's
what that sounds like.
It sounds like.
I am gay.
Oh, God.
That's what it sounds like.
My fourth one is Bull Durham. I
Good
love
choice.
that movie.
It's a great movie.
Fifth one is Major League for sure. Like,
yeah.
Wild Thing. Nobody can ever forget that scene in the movie when he comes out to Wild Thing.
Yes. And another good quote from Bob Uecker. Just a bit outside.
Then my sixth was Dodgeball, of course. Okay, here it goes.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
And number seven, and I'm surprised again that you guys did not mention this movie, is Sandlot.
Oh, Sandlot.
It's a great movie. I know it's kiddish, however,
it's nostalgic.
it's a good movie, and
Yeah.
it is about baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's true.
Damn. One just popped in my head that I didn't think of. Miracle.
So that's on one of my mentions is a Miracle. is a miracle.
That's a great one. That's another speech that'd make you want to fucking run through a goddamn brick wall. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Mom. Didn't mean to say goddamn. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Said it again. Goddamn it.
What'd you say?
Goddamn.
Oh. I just made sure I heard it correctly.
And my honorable mentions, before he says it again.
Goddamn it.
Yep. Is Chariots of Fire. Ooh. Which is a great movie. It has one of the most classic soundtracks ever. Yeah. Field of Dreams, of course, with Kevin Costner.
Yeah,
that's on the soundboard too.
That's one that hits.
I think it's maybe like the third row.
They will come.
Oh God, I forgot it said that in there.
C-U-M?
No. Stop. Then another honorable mention, and I'm surprised none of us mentioned it also, is Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks.
The Mighty Ducks, the Flying V. That is good.
Bad News Bears.
Bad News Bears.
Yeah. Shit.
The OG Bad News Bears.
Yeah.
I wasn't as big of a fan of the rebooted one.
I like both of them.
So apparently that is in Tarantino's top 5 films.
Really?
Favorite films of all time.
The OG.
The OG.
I would have never guessed that.
Walter Matthau.
Yep.
Yep.
And Jodie Foster, a very young Jodie Foster.
Oh shit, that's right. Damn.
I watched that movie when I was a kid, and I loved it. Yep. No one mentioned Happy Gilmore.
That's true.
Damn.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Damn. Karate Kid, the OG Karate Kid, of course.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like the Karate Kid.
Get the fuck out.
The OG one? Mr. Miyagi?
I don't know. It just, I didn't like it.
Did you like the rebooted one better? Like where?
I don't know. I just
Okay.
think they all suck.
Okay. And that's awful, but okay. It's your
some,
opinion.
I'll catch some backlash
You
for
will.
that.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna give you his phone number, everyone. No, I'm just kidding. No one mentioned Rudy. Rudy's a good movie.
Yeah.
Rudy is.
I like Rudy.
It's a good motivational movie.
Right.
And the last one is a basketball movie. White Men Can't Jump.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Good old Woody Harrelson.
Yep. That was a great movie.
And Blade.
Why are you calling him
missing
Blade, not by his real name?
We're missing.
Wesley Snipes, everyone. Wesley Snipes.
We're missing a big one.
Oh, we probably are.
Uh-oh.
Radio with Q.
Oh my God. He snorted on that one.
I wasn't expecting that reaction.
Because all I see is fucking Cuba Gooding Jr. and his big, goofy ass, dumb fucking teeth. Oh, fuck. Oh, I needed that. Oh, fuck.
Does anybody have any other ones? Honorable mentions that you may have thought of while we were talking?
Well, I found some pornos that were sports movies. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not talking about porno sports movies.
Why not?
Because
They have balls in them.
Yeah.
I give up.
Yeah, there's one called A Baseball Bat and Two Balls.
I give up.
And I'm cutting that.
Next segment is movies that made us. Dad edition. So basically these are movies that kind of, I guess, remind us of our fathers in a way.
Yeah.
So my number one is actually the last movie that I watched with my father before he passed away. And I'm actually very thankful that it was this movie. And it is Sling Blade.
I love that movie.
It's an all-time favorite of mine. It's definitely difficult to watch though for me.
Right.
but just a great movie. Great movie.
I want to be baptized.
My number 2, another one he showed me, is the Shawshank Redemption.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's one of the first movies that I ever saw a tear drop from my father's eye, and it was the ending, when he finally walks up to his friend and on the beach and gives him a big old hug.
I love that movie. It's you.
Number 3, and I have to say that I love my father so much for taking me to the movies to see so many masterpieces. And number 3 is 3 movies that we saw Christmas Day 3 years consecutively, is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Nice.
Yeah, my father had a tattoo of Gandalf on his back.
Oh,
Did not know that.
He did. He actually got that tattoo before the movies came out, so it was kind of the interpretation from the books of what Gandalf looked like. Number 4, another masterpiece that he took me to go see, No Country for Old Men. Number 5 is the last movie that he took me and my sister to the theaters to see together, and it was on my sports list, but I wanted to put it on this list, and it was The Wrestler.
Nice.
I remember when he saw the trailer and showed it to me, he told me the whole story with Mickey Rourke about how, this dude was the sex symbol of the 80s, and now he looks like a woman. And
He looks like a middle school gym teacher.
he does. Poor
Female
guy.
gym teacher.
Poor dude. And every year, our family would do a little game for the Oscars. We would see who could get the most right. And my father, and I think that's why I have such a love for the Oscars, because my dad was keeping tally that night of the Oscars. And when Best Actor came around and Sean Penn's name was named, my dad threw the pen and the paper across the room and yelled really loud. He was so damn mad. And then my number 6, and it was a line that he always loved saying.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Airplane. Quintessential. Yep. He loved him some Leslie Nielsen. Loved him some Leslie Nielsen. Man, yeah. That is my list.
Nice one.
I'll go.
You go.
So just to kind of put this segment in perspective, all 3 of us have lost our fathers. So my first memory of my dad taking me to the movies, I feel kind of set me up for the types of movies that I like as an adult. Or the classics that I like as an adult versus some of the movies that are being made now. That's kind of my take on the segment. If anybody knows my dad that listens, my dad was a hoot. So he was always about the comedy. Like any movie that came out that had good comedy, he was game for it. And I just lost my father this year. So one of my dad's absolute favorite movie of all time, and I don't even know if anybody has even heard of it, is called Brain Donors.
I have not.
And it's got John Turturro and Mel Smith and Bob Nelson. And it's kind of like a modern day Three Stooges movie. And it is really funny, even as an adult. I think it's hilarious. But my dad would watch that movie repeatedly. I had bought him it on DVD.
What was it called again?
Brain Donors.
Brain Donors. Write that down.
And it's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous movie. Like,
Those are the best
yeah,
sometimes.
it makes no sense, and he loved it.
Right.
My dad also loved Mel Brooks, so I love Mel Brooks.
Of course.
He loved Blazing Saddles for sure. He liked all Mel Brooks movies, but Blazing Saddles was one of the ones that he watched a lot. And yeah, as an adult, I'm like, okay, because you can't make movies like that now, like at all. Not even a smidge.
No.
Yeah,
No.
As Ryan just mentioned, my dad also loved Airplane, specifically Leslie Nielsen as well.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
And to piggyback on that, he loved the Naked Gun series as well.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
From Police Squad, the TV show Police Squad.
O.J. Simpson. We should get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Oh gosh,
He's an actor.
Did you do it?
oh god. He also loved the movie Three Amigos. If you've never seen that movie,
have.
with Chevy,
Chevy.
Steve Martin and
Martin Short.
Martin Short.
Oh. It's a good one.
He loved that movie. He specifically liked the part where they sing My Little Buttercup in the bar. That is the specific scene that would just crack him up.
Yeah.
In fact, closer towards the last few months of his life before he went to the nursing home, I found it on TV. And I had taken him some food over to his little apartment, and we watched it together. And he still just cracked up like it would have been the first time he'd ever seen it. It was hilarious.
Those are the best comedies too, where you can just watch it over and over again, and the jokes never get old.
Yeah.
Ever.
And he loved James Bond. 007.
I think every dad
Right. Yeah.
loved James Bond.
He specifically liked Sean Connery, James Bond.
My dad watched the classic.
Pushing along.
I had remembered I had bought him for Father's Day. I had bought him the entire collection of James Bond, and every time the new one came out, I would buy him that DVD too.
Jesus, how much did that collection cost?
It was
$500.
Yeah, it was very expensive, but he loved to watch them. And that's why I feel like I like movies that are comedic and raunchy, because even though my dad was a pastor, he still had that side of him where he liked some really off-color comedy in any way you look at it.
Yeah.
He also liked the Pink Panther with Peter Sellers,
Yeah.
who was also Dr. Strangelove.
Right.
By the way.
Comedic genius.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably... He was probably the best comedic actor of his time.
At the time, definitely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was
even
great.
still today. Like,
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
like
Smokey and the Bandit was an honorable mention.
classic dad movie.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
And The Great Race, which I bet you neither one of you have ever heard of it.
I have not.
It's also an old movie. It's got Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, and Natalie Wood in it.
I like
And
some
it's
Jack
also a
Lemmon.
comedy.
Yeah, I like some Jack
Go
Lemmon
figure.
too.
That's my list. That's why I like comedy movies, and that's why there are no good ones now, because they're all been made in the 70s, 80s.
Right.
Yeah, back when you could say shit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a good list.
And that's it.
You
That's
had
all
a
for
great
my
taste.
list.
Great
Yep.
taste.
Yep, he really did. There were some movies I had to be like, "Are you serious?" But for the most part, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
When it came to movies, the very first movie I ever saw with my dad in a theater was the Muppet movie when it came out. I think was it 1981. Okay, I'm aging myself.
Really?
I was like maybe 1980, 1981, but that was the very first movie that my dad ever took me to see in a theater. Was the Muppet movie?
You want to know mine?
What was it?
Flubber. It was fucking Flubber.
Oh my God.
Oh shit. Golly.
Before you start your list, Philip, what was the very first movie that your dad took you to see in a theater?
I don't remember, but I do have a very early memory. I'm sure it wasn't the first, but it sticks out in my mind because it's so funny looking back on it. He took me to see Kangaroo Jack.
Oh my God.
What a masterpiece.
The whole drive, like in my home, I'm from a really tiny, small town, so it did not have a movie theater. So we had to drive to the next town over to go watch watch a movie in
Right.
the theater. So it's like a 20-minute drive for us, at least. The whole ride over, he's like, "Are you sure you want to watch this? Like, there's other movies playing." Like,
Because he knew. Dads know.
yeah. It was just me and him, and we sat down, and the whole time he was just pissed.
Christopher Walken's the bad guy in that, right?
I think so, yeah.
And then it's got the little chubby kid from Stand By Me,
Yeah.
Vern. He plays the
Will. Who was the chubby kid?
O'Donnell?
Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah.
Is that his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I think so.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie. I'm just going to be real.
Kangaroo Jack?
Nope.
You're not missing it.
100%. I don't think I've ever seen that.
I was like 8 years old, so.
Yeah. It was the greatest movie when you were 8 years old.
Right. Yeah. Some movies we watched like just at home whenever they were on or something. Number one has to be The Matrix.
Nice.
Nice.
The first one. Even though we did see the second and third ones in theaters together.
Tragic.
Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. But I after hearing like just digesting it for a minute, I think The Matrix might be the one that sparked my love for movies.
Really?
Because I remember watching it together for the first time, and it's the scene where Keanu and Carrie-Anne Moss are walking into the building to save Morpheus, and they got to go through the security check, and they have a bunch of guns in their bags and shit. Right as that scene was about to start, my dad looks over at me and says, "Watch this." And I can't remember how old I was, but my tiny little mind watching that badass action scene, just
fucking blown.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Shit blowing up, and they're doing flips off of walls and kicking people in the head and shit. It's a lot for what comes after a toddler,
Right.
Like the next step up from a toddler, whatever.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah. My dad liked a lot of comedies too that we've already talked about, like Dumb and Dumber was one of his favorites. We watched Wayne's World at least once a week.
Nice.
I had it on VHS, and we would just pop it in the TV, like I said, at least once a week. He showed me The Shining way before I should have been watching it.
Those are the best fathers.
Yeah.
Those are the best fathers.
He took me to see my first, not R-rated, but like over-the-top graphic movie in the theaters, and that was Apocalypto by Mel Gibson.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
I wish I could have saw that in the theaters. Damn.
I did the math. I was 10 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that isn't too bad for a 10-year-old, I don't
Right.
think.
It's violent, but it's not that bad, really.
It's not Marcellus Wallace getting fucked in the ass, bad.
Oh God.
He liked a lot of classic westerns. He liked the original 310 to Yuma was one he always watched.
It's a really good one.
Tombstone, of course.
Nice.
Another one he really liked is The Quick and the Dead.
Have you watched it?
That is a guilty pleasure.
It is a guilty pleasure,
It's
100%.
Very much of a guilty pleasure.
As a young Leo.
Leo, yeah.
Was it Sharon Stone?
Russell Crowe too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who was the bad guy? Fuck. He's a very well-known actor. Did he play Lex Luthor in the classic Superman?
Gene Hackman?
Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Gene Hackman.
Gene
Gene Hackman, yeah.
Or are we thinking Unforgiven?
No, it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Gene Hackman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From The Quick and the Dead. Some more classics, Saving Private Ryan, any kind of war movie he was into as well. Platoon, any kind of war movie again. Castaway is one he would watch a lot. And we would be out in public, and he would sometimes just randomly start yelling Wilson. Like,
Wilson! I'm sorry.
just to embarrass me and my mom. But yeah, like my dad didn't have like as deep of a taste of movies as like we do, I'd say, but he did love the movies that he liked, and he always made a point to watch them with me, so
Yeah.
like, but yeah, that's I think that's my list.
So I had a couple pop into my mind because we started talking about you brought up Mel Brooks. Another one that my dad showed me that he fucking loved was Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
Yep.
And then,
Frankenstein is Frankenstein.
and it was another movie that we watched the week that he passed away. We watched Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and
We talked about that.
Gene Wilder.
Yep, last week.
Something about that movie would make him laugh so damn hard, and just seeing him laugh would make me laugh. You know,
Yep.
It was just Gene Wilder. God bless him.
And Richard Pryor.
And, yeah, both of them.
Did you know they actually weren't very close friends in real life? Like,
Really?
Yeah, they kind of just had like a professional relationship, you know, just like coworkers. Like,
Well, it's probably because Gene saw Richard Pryor off to the side pouring gasoline on himself, and he's like, I'm just gonna stay away from that guy for a second.
they didn't hate each other, but they both just kind of agreed that it'd be best to just keep it professional, you know, like.
Totally off topic. Didn't Marlon Brando and Richard Pryor have
Yeah, that's an old Hollywood rumor.
think.
sexual relationship with each other?
Yeah, that's an old Hollywood rumor, but it's never been confirmed.
Was
I
it
don't
like,
think.
did it come out in one of their memoirs? I think it was
so.
Brando's memoirs or
like right
something
before
like that.
Brando died, he wrote it in a book or something. Like, but I don't think it's ever been confirmed by anyone.
Yeah.
But it's in his memoirs, so doesn't that kind of...
Well, Brando kind of went off the rails towards the end of his life. So
Was he just making up some shit?
maybe. I don't know.
A little cuckoo.
Yeah,
Oh, my.
yeah, he kind of went a little crazy towards the end there.
Oh, my.
And that's why nobody's sure about it, because he could have just been delusional.
Yeah.
Like,
Bullshitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He was known for fucking with people a lot too. Like when he sent the Native American girl to accept the award for him. You know?
He
It
loved
turned out
controversy.
she wasn't even Native American. She
Yeah. He just found some dark-headed broad on the street and was like, hey, I'm probably going to win this Oscar. Could you just show up?
that's the kind of shit Brando was up to towards the end of his life.
Oh, my.
He did accept one. Was it On the Waterfront?
I believe so.
I think that's the only time he ever actually accepted the Oscar. We're veering off topic, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So I remembered one movie. Again, it's so off the wall. It's like a brain donors movie that, unless you know it, you've never seen it. Have you guys ever seen the movie UHF?
No, I haven't.
And do you know who's in it? Because you guys
don't.
better be ready for this.
I've never heard of it before.
It is one of those, as I said, just ridiculous movies starring Weird Al
Weird Al.
and a
wow.
very young Michael Richards
Really?
Kramer.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
And it is ridiculous, but my dad would sit there and laugh the whole time. And I love that movie to this day. I could watch it 100 times.
Dude, Kramer needs to make a comeback. It's been too long. Come on.
Hit us up on the pod.
That's all I have, though,
Yeah.
for movies. I'm sure we could sit here for hours.
we
My
could.
dad loved Westerns. Like, we could sit here for hours. But
Definitely, he showed me, my dad showed me The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. That was another one.
yeah.
And the Once Upon a Time in the West.
Yep.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, my dad loved Westerns too.
Yeah.
I think every dad loves
I think
Westerns.
that's a dad thing. Yeah.
That definitely is a dad thing. Anybody else, any listeners, you hit us with movies that your dads showed you.
Or your mom's.
Or your moms. Yeah.
Not everyone has a dad, so
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. If you got two moms, two dads.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's hear what both of your dads like.
Yeah. Alrighty.
And unfortunately, it is my turn for top 3
Unfortunately.
movies of the year,
Boring.
This is gonna be great content. What do you
in
mean?
which I have claimed to call it The Roast of Julia, because Ryan is going to eat my soul 100%. I have not been looking forward to this for 3 weeks. So, I have my list. I'm going to turn my list over, and I'm going to say One of my top 3 movies that I've watched this year is Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
What the fuck? Are you being... is this list serious? Is this list serious? What the fuck? We're supposed to be educating people, and you just sling that out of your fucking mouth? What the fuck?
Once I stop laughing, I'll tell you.
Tell us what you liked about it, please. Please give us some insight.
Okay, so just kidding. Because we've all watched pretty much the same movies, so instead of just being redundant on 3 different podcasts, it's going to be my worst 3 movies of the year versus my top 3.
Thank God. I was about to have a fucking heart attack. Jesus. Fucking bash you upside the head with this microphone.
So, yes, I did see Transformers: Rise of the Beasts in the theater, of course, with Emerson, because she's like, we have to go watch Transformers. And I was like, oh, God. We did see it in the Dolby surround sound theater, so it was like shaking our seats. But anyway, it was terrible. It was even more terrible because Megatron wasn't in it. I remember talking to Philip about this like a week ago, and he was like, yeah, that movie was bad because Megatron wasn't in it.
Sarcastically.
But it was terrible. It was pretty terrible.
I'm speechless.
The next terrible movie that I watched this year was Megan.
Oh, God.
Megan.
The one about the like doll.
Oh.
The doll that like turns evil.
Dude, we need about 45 more possessed doll movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We don't have enough of those.
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
But it was awful. Of course, again, unless I go to movies with you guys, I go to movies with Emmy. So I'm kind of stuck on either I'm watching a really good one or I'm watching a really bad one. There's no middle for me. So, of course, I took Emmy to go see that movie, and she was like, again, she was like, that's the great movie. And I was like, it really wasn't.
Just got to speak the truth to her sometimes.
And then I think I talked about this in our very first podcast, or maybe it was last week. The Haunted Mansion. Oh my God, was it bad? Eddie Murphy's version of the Haunted Mansion was way better than this one was.
Even that one wasn't good.
That's saying a lot.
A whole hell of a lot.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty bad in my opinion. Like, I did not care for it. Even Emmy, I don't even think she made it through the whole thing. And we didn't watch that in the theaters, thank God. We just watched that on Disney Plus. Yeah. So that was terrible as well.
Nice. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I did watch a couple, what I thought were a couple of good movies with her. You guys, this is where the roast begins. So everybody get your marshmallows out so you can just... Okay. I'm not even ready for myself.
Just bite the bullet.
So I did watch the Super Mario Brothers movie with her, and it was pretty good. It had a pretty good story, in my opinion.
So I can't dog you on that because I did watch it with my nieces. I mean, if you're a fan of Mario, you're going to enjoy it. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's fantastic, but it's still,
yeah,
it's nostalgic.
It was Mario.
It's nostalgic.
So Kevin Smith, the director of Clerks and Mallrats and those types of movies, he owns a movie theater in LA somewhere. And he said that the Mario movie kind of saved him that year because nobody was coming to see any other movies.
Really?
It's the highest grossing animated movie now, right?
Yeah.
In history.
I think so, yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, let's all just admit that the best part of that movie was Jack Black singing Peaches as Bowser. That was a pretty great scene.
You know what's going to be crazy is I guarantee you that song is going to be nominated for best song at the Oscars.
Oh yeah.
Is it? I have the ballot. Oh no, I have the Emmys ballots. I don't have the
When
Oscars
did that come out?
ballots.
Did that come out this year?
Yep.
It did.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I put it on the
God,
2023
what the
list.
fuck, dude? I thought it.
I
Yeah.
guarantee
Fucking
you.
time.
There's going to be that, and there's going to be some songs from Barbie, I bet.
Oh, definitely. They didn't
I
use
think-
the classic though. The "Come on, Barbie, let's go party." You know,
They didn't?
I don't think so.
Did you see it?
Probably because that
Okay.
movie,
No.
probably because that song is stupid inappropriate.
Oh, I think it was like a copyright issue, but I don't know.
Well, Super Mario Brothers was good, and I bet you that if you're correct and he wins, he will come out to accept that award in a Bowser costume, 100%.
Oh, definitely. Well, it won't be him. It'll be the composer.
Well, the composer, but I bet you he'll be on the stage in said
Could be.
Bowser costume.
That would be awesome. I would love to see Jack Black.
In a tux.
Get a
He'd be the top to wear a tuxedo T-shirt.
Yes. Yes.
Oscars.
Yes.
And then I did talk about it last week was, so, I mean, I watched Five Nights at Freddy's again. I know. Fuck. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. It was decent for what it was. And then the third one, I liked Barbie. The face he just gave me, guys. I liked it. Now, Emmy hated it. Every second of it. When I walked out of there with her, she was like, what? If she could have said what the fuck, and she probably said it on her breath, she probably would have said, what the fuck did we just watch? She hated every second of that movie.
Yeah, so Paul Thomas Anderson actually said that the fact that Barbie and Oppenheimer came out on the same day and they both did so well at the box office that he quoted something like, it's nature's way of healing. You know?
It's true.
But I liked it, and I thought Ryan Gosling did a good job as Ken. I think the standout, though, was Michael Cena as Alan. Michael Cera, sorry. Michael Cena.
John Cena?
Michael Cera as Alan, the Ken's friend that nobody knew about from the 60s.
Ken's friend and
Air quotes.
Friend.
I am gay.
But he was funny as Alan. I mean, he was really good in it. Did you see Barbie? Yes, you did.
I have not.
Oh, you didn't? I'm surprised you haven't. I knew you weren't going to watch it, Philip.
I don't know if I want to put myself through it.
It is kind of musical-y.
And you know that I don't dig musicals.
Well,
I mean,
tough
Greta
shit.
Gerwig has some chops at this point, but you know,
She's a good director. I mean, I guess out of respect of her previous work, I might give it a try, but you know, I might end up turning.
I am gay.
So
it was good. It wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't for 6 and 7 year olds. That theater was packed full of kids. And then
Of course.
once I got out of that, I was like, that definitely was not for 6 and 7 year olds.
Right.
Not even close.
well, they're probably aiming for the people
who grew up playing with Barbie dolls.
Grew up
Yeah.
with the Barbie dolls. They
Yeah.
probably didn't expect children. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Do kids even still play with
Yes,
Barbie dolls?
Barbies are so still popular.
I know they're like collector's items and shit.
Yeah.
They have a trans Barbie now.
Do they really? I
It
didn't
looks
even
no
know
different from a female Barbie, but
that. Don't Ryan.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Ryan.
not that there's anything wrong with
I
that.
didn't say there was anything wrong with it,
there's
but I
nothing
saw
wrong.
your wheels a churning.
No. Nothing's wrong with it. Nope.
He didn't say anything.
I didn't say nothing. You're accusing me.
Put
I
words in his
saw
mouth.
your face.
I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit.
But I liked it. So
Well,
Yeah, fair enough.
Boring.
I'm aware. And that's all I have, because God knows if I said anything else, that I would literally have to go to the hospital for 3rd-degree burns, because you would roast the shit out of me.
I think it's a good idea. We're not talking about the same 3 movies again, though.
yeah.
Like,
That's the only reason why I did it. Was
Yeah.
I was like, well, we're going to talk about Killers of the Flower Moon for the 3rd time.
right.
Yeah.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
It did pay off.
It did pay off.
Philip knew I was going to do this. It was a surprise for you.
Oh,
Ryan's soundboard fingers getting tired over
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that is all I have for the roast of Julia.
Well, yeah, it was
Eventful.
Fuck you.
agonizing.
Fuck you.
Let me go shove this microphone up my ass.
Shut up.
I'll help you. I got some lube.
There we go. Nice.
Stop.
Tag team.
No, what?
All right. So, as you all know by now, we have a weekly watch suggestion. If you don't watch any of the other movies we mentioned, we want you to watch this one. And this week we're spotlighting a film called Fat City,
Indeed.
released in the year 1972 from legendary director John Huston,
Yep.
who also directed The Maltese Falcon, The African Queen, Annie, and just a little fun fact, he voiced Gandalf in the 1977 TV special of The Hobbit.
Nice.
And he also, he was the writer of Chinatown, right? Or no, he played the.
I think he has something to do with it. Yeah,
He was
forget
the.
though.
He was the father in Chinatown.
I think, yeah.
He acted
was
in it.
he was all over Hollywood in like the 40s, 50s, 60s. You know.
Yeah, he was the big time director at that time.
Yeah. He was like the Scorsese of that time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And that was kind of the trend in those like early days of filmmaking where a handful of guys kind of did everything, you know, all the big time movies. But anyway, the screenplay is by a man named Leonard Gardner. It's adapted from his novel of the same name. So he wrote both the novel and the screenplay and handed it off to John Huston to direct it, which actually kind of re-sparked John Huston's career because he had kind of a string of bad luck there for a while.
Right.
Critically meaning, you know, which critics meant a lot more back then. It stars Stacy Keach as Billy Tully. Stacy Keach has been around a long time. He's not a very well-known actor, though.
Very underrated.
Yes, he's done a lot of TV and stage stuff. Yeah. You know, he's not done a lot of films. I particularly wanted to bring this one up because it stars a very, very young Jeff Bridges. And I don't know about everyone else, but to me, Jeff Bridges has always been 70 years old in my mind.
Yeah.
So it's
weird seeing him young.
Yeah. I think he's freshly 18 when the movie started shooting. And he plays a character named Ernie Munger, a young up-and-coming boxer with enthusiasm and kind of a juxtaposition to Stacy Keach's Billy character. Billy is this sort of down and out, depressed former boxer, alcoholic, you know, and he kind of pushes Ernie in the right direction towards his boxing career.
Yeah, takes him under his wing.
Yeah, in sort of an indirect way, but yes, kind of.
He sees a lot of himself.
Right, exactly.
In him.
Yeah. It's the juxtaposition of the two paths people's lives can take, you know. Also stars Susan Tyrrell as Oma, and she plays the trashiest, most junky,
She sure does.
drunk woman of
She
all
did
time.
great.
She was great, though.
She did
yeah.
great.
She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress for this movie. Yeah. So that's the three major characters in this film. There are a few, there are actual boxers in the film. I wish I would have written their names down because I forget who they are. But yeah, they were legitimate boxers at the time. Admittedly, it's probably a challenging watch for some people because it is pretty dry. It's a slow burn. The acting performances are what I like about it. It's very authentic.
Yeah.
Basically, the plot is like just people trying to live up to their potential, and life gets into the way of that. And again, the juxtaposition between the Billy character and the Ernie character kind of shows how the two cope with the setbacks that life kind of forces you into.
Their own issues.
Yeah. It's Ernie handles it way better than Billy did. So,
Right.
What else we got here? I mean, everyone's not a boxer, obviously, but I think the emotions and themes in this film kind of are things everyone can relate to.
Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. Again, the way that like life kind of holds you back from cats all over our equipment.
Yeah, we've got a cat on our table.
Biddy,
Sorry.
get down, Biddy.
Yeah, she's just sniffing around, investigating.
We'll be getting a mic for her soon.
Yeah.
She'll be chiming in from time to time.
But yeah, this movie is kind of like when you're feeling sad, you listen to sad music to feel better, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that
Yeah.
sort of feeling. I described it as a gray film, meaning that it's not really a battle between good and evil. Mm-hmm. It's more about expressing like the complex emotions that we can't describe with words.
Right.
You know?
I felt a lot of, I'm not fully comparing it to this film, but it had strokes of Raging Bull to
definitely.
it.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that maybe had something to do to influence Scorsese into
I'm
doing
sure.
it.
Yeah. I'm sure Scorsese's a huge John Huston fan. So.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that would make sense. What else we got here? Basically, this movie gets an emotional reaction out of me, which is rare nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's just,
I definitely felt that myself.
yeah, one I really like.
Well, Lord knows I cried. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very deep emotionally and, for lack of a better term, like existentially. You know, like it makes you. It's a sad movie, but it's inspiring at the same time.
Right.
It makes you want to do better in your own life. You
And
know?
it being an older film, with those older films, you could really tell that they really cared about those themes, you know, they wanted to touch the heart and really drive those emotions home for people. And you don't really get that too much with the stuff that's came out lately, you know.
It's lately movies are more about, it's like, what's going to look cool on camera as opposed to what is the audience going to feel when they see this. You know?
right.
Like,
And this had phenomenal performances all around, whereas your newer films, there's always, they kind of want to focus on one actor in particular, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the films back then just had a way of elevating actors to this like godly status, you know, where they become the character as opposed to, oh, that's The Rock playing Black Adam.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, no, I'm watching Black Adam. And I'm just using that as an example because that was a bad movie that came out this year. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's these older films, like the 70s is my favorite era of films, you know. It's,
It's probably the best era of films that we had.
Yeah. It's just everything felt so real and gritty and just emotional. And we just don't get it a lot today. So I just wanted to point this out. So it's an artistic movie, you know. Art is supposed to elicit a reaction from you, and this movie will do that.
Yeah. I have so I found a couple things about it. John Huston originally planned to cast Marlon Brando as Billy Tully, and also Beau Bridges as Ernie.
Oh, wow.
Who is the older brother of Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Beau turned down the role because he felt that he was too old, so he suggested to cast his younger brother, Jeff, in it. And also, John Huston was attracted to the project due to his own youthful experiences with boxing, having attended Abraham Lincoln High School because of its boxing program there. Despite the fact that it was in a rougher part of the city. At the age of 15, he was a top-ranking amateur lightweight in California.
Wow.
He ended his brief professional career after suffering a broken nose. So if you watch the film, you'll kind of understand.
Right.
Because,
Yeah. the title of the film itself, Fat City, is it's like a old school slang term, meaning that you want a good life, you want to live a good life. You're going to Fat City, meaning you're
My dad used that term.
right.
And I've got the names of those boxers.
Let's hear it.
Let's see here. He casted real life boxers. Some of them his old acquaintances. Art Aragon, he played Babe, was a former top lightweight contender. And then Curtis Cokes, who played Earl, was the simultaneous WBA, WBC, and the Ring World welterweight champion.
Wow.
Though ironically, his character isn't a boxer.
Oh, wow.
And then it says here, the top boxing trainer Al Silvani was the film's fight choreographer and appears in the film as the referee.
Nice. Yeah, I always like seeing directors and filmmakers pulling from the real life community that they're making a film about, if that makes sense. Like for example, he's using real boxers in a boxing movie,
Right.
Or real golfers in a golf movie, or you know what I'm saying. Like I've always liked seeing that.
Like Shooter McGavin.
Yeah. Jackie Gleason in The Hustler is a great pool player in real life.
Yep.
Even though Gleason was already a well-established actor at that point, but yeah, again, I've always loved seeing that in movies.
Right.
You got anything to add, Julia?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't fall asleep.
Did we talk?
It's only an hour and a half long, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
it's not that long of a movie. The content makes it longer, but
yeah,
I mean,
it does feel longer because it is a slower paced movie, but it's only an hour and a half.
Yeah. Get some attention span, people.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm not talking about you.
Well, you were staring straight at me when you said that.
What am I supposed to look at? The fucking ceiling?
The cat or something. Philip. Look at Philip.
Wow. Jesus.
I'm impressed Julia made it through it, honestly.
Yeah.
To be
Yeah,
honest.
I enjoyed it.
Did we mention that Candy Clark, that was her film debut?
Oh, yeah. I did not, but yes, that was her film debut. Yeah.
So being able to get an Oscar nom for your film debut, it's quite a feat right there.
And her character admittedly was pretty small role, but an important one at least. So.
And those are the best. It's kind of like Hannibal Lecter, he's only on the screen for 10 minutes
right
throughout the entire movie,
Yeah.
but he won Best Actor.
Yeah.
So that just shows that you can be in the movie for a short span of time, but you can make the biggest impact in the film,
Yeah, going back to Oppenheimer, Gary Oldman. That's the one scene that sticks out in my mind.
Bring me everyone.
I knew it.
Everyone.
Gary Oldman in studio again. Thanks for.
Can we ask him to leave?
He keeps saying the same shit over and over again.
He will not leave.
No, he won't. He won't. Gary, do you mind leaving?
Bring me everyone.
Oh, God.
Bring me everyone.
All right, we get it, Gary. Okay, the door's over there. All right,
Call
everybody.
the fucking cops.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Gary's out of here.
Oh,
Man.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. Can't get that man out of here for nothing.
Watch Fat City, goddammit.
Yeah,
All right.
Everybody really check it out. You'll really like it. Very independent.
Yeah, definitely. Every movie in the 70s felt independent for the most part.
Yeah.
It had a very, like I said, very gritty, realistic kind of style back then. Yeah.
And that's where we're going to aim y'all towards, is independent filmmaking.
Right, yeah.
Because get away from the mainstream film.
Yeah.
Because to be honest with you, it just doesn't hit emotionally.
Right. If we're lucky enough here in Nashville to have the Belcourt Theater that we can watch under the radar films that don't play at other like chain theaters.
Yes.
So if in your town, if you can find like a small art house theater like that, I would highly recommend going there at least once a month to watch something.
I don't recommend. Fucking do it.
Yeah.
Fucking do it. Fucking do it.
Yeah. Some of those films might be hard to watch at first, but it's a muscle. You know, you work out the muscle and you learn to love it. You know?
And you got to look at different things within the movie. You can't just focus on the story. You need to look at the camera work. You need to look at the acting. You need to look at, you know, the way the music's playing with everything and all those things.
Yeah. I can't remember who, but one of our teachers in film school, sorry, I'm blanking on your name if you're listening, but they told us you should watch every movie twice. First time to enjoy it, the second time to analyze it, you know, figure out what's really going on that second time within the plot, and not just that, but the acting, the camera work, you know, everything.
I feel like that might have been Micah.
It sounds very...
Right. I didn't mention anyone's name because I didn't want to get it wrong, but yeah.
It sounds like him.
It sounds like Micah, yeah. Shout out to Micah.
Micah or Vince.
One of them. Could have been Matt Perkins as well.
Could have been Perk. Yeah.
Yeah. That it's any one of those. That's why I didn't want to mention a name, but yeah. Shout out to those guys.
Shout out to you guys. Hit us up on the pod.
You made that school worth it.
You did. You did.
I'm not going to mention the name
That
of the
is
school.
a rabbit hole.
No comment.
Well, there's some editing I have to do.
Yep.
Rabbit hole.
All right. No, we had fun. We had fun in film school, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what turned us on
Yeah,
to finding movies like this.
That's what lit the fire under my ass, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You know what lit the fire under my ass?
I am gay.
That concludes this segment.
that fire's still burning.
Yeah, because there was no lube involved.
Do it.
Alrighty, everybody. That concludes the third episode of the Cinephile Rehab.
3 in a row.
Three in a
Going
row.
strong.
We are going fucking strong.
Mm-hmm.
Please subscribe to our YouTube.
And like our videos.
Hopefully
And like.
YouTube hasn't shut us down by now.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be my fault if they do. You can email us as well. And we've got a Instagram, right?
Yeah, do the whole thing. The like, subscribe, the
Follow.
little bell icon, whatever the fuck they say.
Yeah, yep. Do everything.
Do the Instagram thing. Do it all. We're on TikTok as well.
Yep.
Now.
I'll put that on the
Yeah.
screen for the next time.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Bye, everybody.
Bye.